Hello, everyone. Yeah, you are welcome to this live session. So, we've got something to discuss today. It has to do with the state of things in Nigeria currently. Like we've always told you guys, that this government is not even ready to address some of the issues that we have currently in Nigeria. And you see the state of things, deteriorating every day, meaning that they don't have idea. They don't even know what to do. They don't know how to start, tackling the situation on ground. So before we go into what we actually have, I want us to go through some of the headlines that I've got for you guys. We've also got a video that we'll be looking at, and also to like understand the reality of things in Nigeria today. So, like you can see this image, it is just like showing you how this government is squeezing out blood from the Nigerian people. The people are the one bearing the burden of this country, while our politicians are the ones, on the enjoyment side. Look at it. Just looking at that image, you know that the situation currently in Nigeria is horrible. Look at, I don't know if this represents the president or whosoever, and you can see him squeezing out blood from Nigerians, those who pay their taxes, who they didn't provide lights to, no good roads. Yesterday, we discussed why businesses are leaving Nigeria, and we looked at some of the things that have really made these businesses to decide and say, oh, we are leaving Nigeria, we are not coming back. And we've seen the president trying to beg them that they should stay back in Nigeria, and people keep asking, where is the light? Where are roads? Some of these businesses, they want to transport some of their goods or their raw materials that came in out from outside the country, and it will take days for those goods to get to their destinations. And these are things they just go through on a daily basis. And you ask, but till when? When are these things going to come to an end? Nobody knows, because they are not even ready to tackle some of these issues. So we are going to be looking at the state of the nation and all that. So this is coming from the Labour Party. We all know that, the Labour Party is like the real opposition at the moment, and they are trying to play their role, telling Nigerians that this administration inflicts pain on Nigerians, rule with impunity. It is real, like the image I've shown you before now. That is just exactly what it portrays. The president, Tinubu, before he became president, said they are going to widen the tax net, get more people to pay the tax. And exactly that is what they are doing now. Nobody is talking of how to generate more income, more revenue for Nigeria. Nobody is talking of, addressing some of this ugly situation that are making some of these businesses to leave Nigeria. Nobody is talking about all that. They just want to get more people to pay tax. And when you pay your taxes, they enjoy the money. That is just the kind of formula they are working with. So this is coming from Rufa. He said the forest crisis is the reason why companies are leaving Nigeria, and it has eroded disposable income. What 550,000 naira could buy in 2019, 100,000 can't buy today. And that's just the situation on ground. The prices of things have gone up. Yes, the naira is also a problem. It's an issue. Then coupled with, we don't have lights in Nigeria, we don't have good roads, the government does not even have friendly policies that is helping, businesses in Nigeria. We've seen the Airpeace CEO. He came out to tell us that sometimes when they import, some of the parts of their airlines from outside the country, for you to even clear it, like you have an airline that developed a problem and you were able to buy any of the parts that needs to be changed from outside the country, when it comes in, the custom will like hold that part. You might end up spending like 3 weeks for you to even get it to start working or fixing that airline. So these are some of the challenges, and who cares if Nigeria is working or not? They don't. They just want you to pay the taxes and let them get the money. So there have been this headline that people are saying there is scarcity of naira. Like if you have money in the bank, you may go to the bank to collect your money, and they will tell you that they don't have enough. Assuming you want to collect 1 million, they will say, okay, take 500 or take 400, something like that. But the CBN is trying to say that there is sufficient stock of naira notes. As complaints, you see it about scarcity persists. People are still saying that there is no money in when they go to the bank to cash out some of their money. But the CBN is trying to debunk that, Nigeria now, most times they don't tell the people the fact. This is the president of Nigeria. I think this is dated 10th, that is today, telling West African countries, advocating for good governance to avert coup in West Africa. Yes, they don't want the military to take over, but they themselves, on their own part, they are failing in delivering dividends of democracy to the people. And this is one of the reasons why all these coups happen. They are not addressing it from their own part. They are just saying it that it shouldn't happen. But you don't, when you told people grab it, snatch it, run with it, how do you want democracy to exist in Africa? This is the same president that told his people that power is not served a la carte. Grab it, snatch it, run with it. You cannot just get it on a platter of gold. And now he's advocating for good governance so that there won't be coup happening in Africa. When people get voted, when people get into all this position by force, not because the people wanted you, but you forcefully got yourself there. And then you are telling us that you don't want coup. This is an irony for me. I don't know how you see it. The civil society, they are blaming the federal government that they are the cause of the economic situation in Nigeria. Anyway, it is them we know. We don't know any other person, because, like we've said, we've only seen them, spending the money, buying cars and renovating, eating and enjoying while Nigerians go to bed hungry. Angas military erroneously kill over 400 innocent Nigerians in 6 years. This is coming because of the recent incidents that happened in Kaduna State. So there have been this topic about the LP, the PDP, the NNPP, and I think ABGA trying to come together to form a formidable force. So, guys, I don't know, for me, I know that it's not really that easy for one single party to dismantle this APC. I know it will not be that easy. There is need for parties to come together. Well, I don't know what your thoughts are, because some people will tell you that it is still this set of people we have in the APC that we have in the PDP. So for the LP, which we look at as a new bride in town, we consider the LP as a new bride in town and an unstained bride. Let me use it that way, because it's not as if we don't have people with dirty hand in the Labour Party, but when we position Peter Obi to be the role model and we say, okay, those will be electing, we want them to be as transparent as Peter Obi. Let them have credible character. Let them be people who have empathy on the citizens, and they want to serve, in ensuring that the people are the ones to get the benefits. So if we think that way, do you think it would be nice for the Labour Party to merge with the PDP? I don't know how you look at it. And also ABGA and then the NNPP. These are some of the arrangements they are trying to, put in place against 2027. Nigerians, it is really so disheartening that we are already thinking of 2027, meaning that all the things that happened during this last election, they've all been, as in people have said, okay, let's move on. This is the kind of country we have where things will happen and then nobody will react to it and nothing will be done. All the judgment we got that we are not satisfied with, you can't do anything, as in you can't do anything. So for me, I will say, okay, instead of it to be discussing this merger of a thing, why not we discuss electoral reforms and maybe adjusting our constitution and all that? Why shouldn't we be discussing that? I know some people will say, what about the last electoral reform that Buhari signed? The INEC chairman abandoned it and did his own bidding, or the bidding of the politicians, what they told him to do. So it's also another challenge. Even if we have all these reforms, do you think we have people who have the political will to uphold our electoral reform? We might have the election now, and on the midway, they will tell you that, oh, we don't want to use this. We don't want. I'm just still trying to fathom how the 2027 election is going to go. Is the INEC chairman going to tell Nigerians that we'll be using BVAS again? Is he coming to boast? Will he be coming again to boast of the IREF? Oh, we've involved technology. They won't be having all this, all the sham and the scam that we used to have during the elections. Everything is going to be transparent. Will he be bold enough to come and tell Nigerians all that? And if not, does it mean we'll still go back to the worst system that we had before now, where you use pen and paper to enter all this, and then you then see so much alteration, as in so many things will be altered, text and all that? Is that what we are going to be seeing come 2027? I think these are some of the discussions we should be really engaging on, because if we allow these people, the whole system has been captured. I tell you, INEC has been captured, the judiciary has been captured. Tell me, these are the two main bodies that determines who becomes the president, or the sensitive position, governor of a state. If INEC decide, whosoever INEC announces, it takes only the judiciary to reverse it. And when the judiciary has already, linked itself to a political party, how do you expect to get justice if you belong to the opposition? So these are some of the things we should really be concerned about. But these people are saying, oh, let's form a merger. Yeah, you can form that merger. But when that, that barrier is still not removed, that barrier of state capture, INEC has been captured, the judiciary has been captured, and we can really see it playing out. If that barrier is not taken out, then even the formidable force will not really be able to produce any outstanding result. I think that is my own take. So I want us to look at this video. This is a member of the PDP, but he spoke so passionately, as a Nigerian, and he talked about the corruption in the system, the state capture, how they are just wasting the Nigerian people's money and all that. Let me just believe that the ruling party and the president, they got to see this video, because this video will really tell them to their faces all that they are doing wrongly currently in Nigeria.
Tinubu government. He spent how many months since May? Do you see a hope? They said he's selling a renewed hope to Nigerians. Do you see a hope? Do you see light at the end of the tunnel? Do you believe in this Tinubu government at all?
I've reflected on them well, and reflected on them much. And the only thing I can say is that whatever it is that they say they are calling their policy, the only people that policy will work for are probably the Southerners. When you are talking about spending a lot of energy on startup capital, all of these things, you're still speaking to a small fraction of the society. Their attitude around money, the way they're throwing their weight all over the place, the way they're just spending money like drunken sailors, is not a reflection of what I expect for a government that is trying to fix the country and give it a leap. So I think that I have concluded that nothing good will come out of their Nazareth, and that at the end of the day they will spend their 4 years or whatever time God has given them to make themselves richer, to make themselves bigger, and probably leave the country more miserable. For you to be able to solve the problem of Nigeria, the underpinning philosophy of your budgeting must be, we are budgeting for the poor. When you say you are budgeting for the poor, it means you are figuring out how would the poor eat, how would the poor get to the hospital, how would the poor get accommodation, how would the poor get accommodation where they will sleep, how would the poor get education. If you start thinking from that mindset of let us budget for the poor, you know what will happen? You will cover more people in your space, and in any case, the rich can find their own way. What I see them doing is they are budgeting for themselves, their rich friends, their wives, their numerous hanger-ons, their legislators who need new cars all the time, themselves who need a yacht, their logistics of traveling, the ESTA code. They are not serious. You are a nation that is in debt. Thinks that by not showing even potential, people that can give them more money or even forgive them or invest in their country, that they have the ability to be frugal and spend money better, that people are just going to keep dashing them money. They must think the world for a fool.
So, guys, I just wanted to quickly comment that Akpabio, who is the Senate president, he celebrated his 61st birthday. And you need to go and see the video where they were singing "Now we day, now we day, now we day" here. You get to know that these people, they are just there for themselves. They are just there for themselves, as in, just for him to celebrate his birthday, he had to bring all the politicians, gather people, even the president's wife was there. And you begin to wonder how much they must have spent in organizing that birthday celebration party alone. Honestly, you need to start thinking, if these people really understand that Nigerians are going through a lot. And somebody tweeted on Twitter showing the Prime Minister of Netherlands, riding on a bike, and then showed the fleet of cars of the president while he was on transit, the number of cars that were following him. Most times when the person of Tinubu arrives Lagos, there will be traffic jam everywhere, as in people will not be able to go to work. You'll be held in hold up, as in you'll be stopped for hours for you to be able, even when they came into power, every morning that he leaves his house for his office, they were told that there will be a lot of traffic jam. And until Arise TV captured it, I think possibly they had to like rethink and maybe make some adjustment. But what I'm trying to say is that these people, they don't care about you and I. It's just about them. That's what we've seen them do. It's just about them. Despite the fact that Buhari left Nigeria very poor, we were thinking that this government will come and say, okay, Nigerians, like they said, they are hope or renewed hope. They will come with that force and say, okay, we are here to renew your hope. But look at the state of things. People are suffering. People are suffering. And they are saying that though many young people are now taken to crime, especially this Yahoo of a thing, considering the state of things, some of them will say, instead of going into robbery, as in let them be doing it online and all that. And still we don't see any action that to tell us that tomorrow is going to be better. We have not seen anything from this government. Then tell me, how do they want companies to stay back in Nigeria, even when the citizens themselves are crying? That's why companies are leaving. Companies are leaving. Don't forget that we have issues with oil theft in Nigeria. And this government has come in, they've just kept quiet. Nobody's talking about it. And every day you still come to the news, to all these media houses, they will still be repeating oil theft. Who are the ones stealing this oil? Why is it that this government, if they really want to clean the system up, why are they not talking of oil theft? Peter Obi said, nobody steals the oil if not the government, because there is no ship that will enter Nigeria without the government knowing. They know who steals this oil, and this is how they siphon our money, and then they take it outside the country and enjoy their lives with it. Some of this money that belongs to the Nigerian people is being saved in foreign accounts. That is why we are going bankrupt. And you've seen the body language of this government. They are not ready to probe, because who are you going to probe now? It is still not them, not them. If you probe this person now, he will tell you that me, I will expose you if you expose me. So that's why I don't think anything different is going to happen in this administration, honestly.
Even what they are doing in the oil and gas industry is quite unbelievable. What we're hearing in there with all our partners is not palatable. No new investment that significantly is coming in, and we are not able to show that even anybody who wants to give us money, we are going to use it well, or we are going to use it judiciously. You can't carry a bunch of people to hunger. We have not recovered from that. You've come back home, you are building houses and renovating houses for yourself at such great price. We have not recovered from that. You've gone to Dubai to go and talk about climate change with 1,000 plus people. We have not recovered from that. What do we know you are going to do over Christmas? They are spending money as if it's running out of fashion. They forget that for you to be able to stimulate, the energies you need for the country, you need to also show that you are not putting a burden on the people in terms of removing subsidy and all of the comfort that the people can enjoy Whereas you yourself are living life. If you cut down on your expenses, if you made a memo and said no new cars for the next 2 years, we'll use the one in the pool. If you pretended that you didn't want to go everywhere in the world with 1,000 people, we'll just go with the minimum number of people that have a business being there, we'll be fine. If you started to show that even from where you're standing, you're going to sweep the floor, you'll find out that Nigerians are not that hostile. It's just that it's difficult for you to tell the Nigerian people that underneath the circumstances that will come, now they need to go and do, they need to spend a lot of effort on massive reorientation of this country. We have a reorientation challenge that if they come on the table, we can share some ideas with them. I do not believe that the business of opposition is wishing the ruling party not to succeed. No. I believe that the business of opposition is encouraging them to succeed so that they can do some part of the job, so that by the next opportunity when we come with better ideas, better attitude, and better inclusivity for the people, then we'll meet the glass half full.
Do you think they have the capacity?
Ordinarily, if they push themselves of their, batch where you're just dancing and doing one bit all over the place, and they began to be a bit more serious, and they stop taking the Nigerian people for granted, they should be able to have the capacity. Human capital is not our problem in this country. We have the brain power to think ourselves out of any problem. The problem is that do we have the political will, or do we have the government leadership discipline to go that route?
But you don't trust them.
Nobody should. You shouldn't in your own interest.
Why not?
Nigerians, do you trust this administration? He doesn't trust them. Who should trust them? They are not transparent. They don't tell us. The president said they met a mess when they came in. They said they met bankrupt Nigeria. And they've not come up. Peter Obi said, tell us what you met on ground. Nobody has the boldness till today. You met a bankrupt Nigeria. Tell us how much you met on ground. That's the argument of Peter Obi. Tell us what and what you saw when you came in, so that we'll know how to start holding you accountable. But they don't have that boldness. Anybody that comes in will start making excuses and telling you that, oh, they didn't meet anything when they came in. That's exactly what Buhari did, so that they will have opportunity to siphon more. They told us that they've removed subsidy. Where are they channeling the money that was meant for subsidy? This is huge amount of money. Where are they channeling it? That they want to borrow from anywhere they see money. Even if the government of Togo wants to borrow Nigeria money now, Nigeria is going to belittle itself to go and collect. Anybody, you've seen how much they are collecting from the CBN in trillions, despite the fact that Buhari borrowed a lot from the CBN. That's internal borrowing. We are not talking about the external borrowing. Recently, the CBN has given this government trillions of naira, trillions. Not just in billions that we used to talk about, trillions. Where are they channeling this money? They don't come out to tell Nigerians, okay, this money I collected from, or we collected from state or the CBN, this is what we want to use it for. We don't see all that. We only see headline that the CBN borrows federal government trillions. What and what are they using it for? What and what? We have somebody who, while as a governor, even when he left the seat of governor in Lagos State, we were told that, the state still come to account to him. He still gets his own allocation, which is not even like what is constitutionally meant for him. We've been told so many stories as to, how he still governs the state, even though he's not the one sitting there. And we have such a person at the head of our affairs in Nigeria, and he's not talking to us. He's not even telling us what they are doing. There is no transparency when it comes to this APC. That's why I pity Nigerian youths that still vote for the APC. The Nigerian youths that are still associated with this party, that lacks transparency, that we don't even know what they plan for Nigeria. Check out, since they took over from the PDP during the time of Jonathan till today, it has been, as in this story has always come more negative than it used to be. That is the Nigeria we have today. Fellow Nigerians, it is time to say no to this party called the APC. No matter the kind of a candidate they present to us, we must reject it, because they don't have, the feeling for the people. They are not people, people, or like I say, people-oriented party. They don't have anything to do with, they don't have that feeling, that empathy that every leader is supposed to have. We don't see it in the leaders found in the APC, and that is why we must say no to this party.
Look at them now. They've removed subsidy from the first day. They've not even been able to determine themselves how much they're going to pay workers for take home fee. They have reduced everybody in the country into people that need palliatives, and they do not think that, okay, if you put the cart before the horse, 6 months is a long time for you to be putting the horse back in the space. You know what I mean? They are telling you they don't have money. They are buying cars for themselves. They are buying for their wives. They are buying yachts. They are spending more. They are telling, no, shehu. I want a Nigerian president that tells the world that here we are, Nigeria. We run on our own terms. I want a Nigerian president that tells the world that for the next 2 years, our greater problem is working on the inside, sorting out our own agriculture, finishing our dislocations that is causing us to kill ourselves, stabilizing and having a conversation on restructuring if it is a necessary conversation, looking at our own anti-corruption effort and exercise, becoming a nation of consequence, where when people do things there are consequences, and no matter how highly placed the person, there will be a consequence, and then we can then tell the world, here we are, we're open for business. I've never known any society that didn't close up to emerge as a successful nation. China closed up for a while before it became great. Japan did the same thing. Dubai too busied itself and put its nose to the grindstone until it became a destination where everybody is going to. When would Nigeria look itself in the mirror and tell itself that there are no messiahs outside of Nigeria that will save Nigeria, that the people that will save Nigerians are the Nigerians themselves, and that the responsibility of a leader is to walk the talk and act the script that is telling the people. Your communication cannot be telling people we don't have money, and then your lifestyle will be extremely extravagant. So I don't trust them.
Are you also afraid, because some of your friends within the opposition are afraid that?
So guys, there is something to take away from what he just said. This government, from their action, they tell the world that Nigeria is rich, but they will go out to still tell them that we don't have infrastructure. We don't have, our schools are not in good shape. We don't have anything that they need to invest, that these bodies should borrow them money. You go to beg for money, but when your action alone tells them that you are comfortable. We've just seen, that is just what we are seeing. Can you imagine that every year that the budget or any new Senate that comes in will want to buy new cars for its members? Every new Senate, they want to buy new cars. Tell me what happened with the vehicles that Buhari left. Tell me what happened to those vehicles. Does it mean Buhari was using a second-hand car or second-hand cars with those working with him? Why is it that this government did not say, okay, let's use the vehicles that were left by the administration that just left? Let's just try to manage things. This man just nailed it. He said, for any economy to start striving or to open up, you must first close up. You can even tell people that, oh, we won't be traveling. Tell Nigerians the state of things, that we won't be traveling, we won't be making this kind of expenses. Even the last climate summit that they just had, you can tell them that, oh, we are having challenges, financial challenges, we won't be able to attend. Okay, you people should send us your scripts after the meeting. We must not be everywhere because we are having a very serious issue at this moment. But this government, they want to tell the world, it's Nigeria. When the president is going, go and see how many cars, how much do they use in fuel in these cars? To fill the tanks at the expense of the Nigerian people. It is you and I to whom they've not given electricity, no good light, even housing. You see the housing deficit in Nigeria and all that. It is still we that they are maltreating, that they will ask to pay taxes that they are using to live all this flamboyant life that we've seen them live. Honestly, Nigeria is
takeover of the entire system.
No, you should know that it's not a coastal takeover, a complete takeover of the. You know what they call state capture? You look at the executive, they've taken that, yeah? That's normally entitled if they win an election. Look at the legislature. Forget about the fact that the APC people are even in the majority. Is that the reason why all the opposition members in the legislature are just there to be doing yes sir to them? How can they go into the hollow chambers of the Senate in a joint session and be singing on your mandate. What kind of mandate is that? A mandate that is suspect, and people are sitting down there. The opposition could not even walk out, could not even use their voice, could not even protest. So that's that. What about the judiciary? People have asked me that it is only the lawyers of the APC that went to law school? Because suddenly it appears as if it's only the position of the lawyers of the APC that is correct in this country, and the position of the other people's lawyers are not correct. And everybody has become so cowed to the point that people are just anticipating, let us not talk, let us not say, maybe we'll have a case in court, maybe the judiciary should be a place where when you come to court, you don't need to be afraid of your bullies. The person you have taken to court, you have taken him to court. You should be assured that the court will look at the case and do what it needs to do. And like I always tell people, that you lose in court does not mean the judiciary is corrupt. No, I don't accept that argument. The argument I take is the judiciary cannot be making players sleeps and expect society that is already agitated to clap for them. You can't write the judgment of Kano the way you wrote it. That's unacceptable. And you can't have a set of laws or interpretation of statutes that is a bit confusing. What even constitutes a pre-election matter now? Because in one case, you say it's a pre-election matter, it has no locus here. And in other cases, you say it can be...
Looking for the perfect remote job?
So, sorry, I stopped the video. But what he said, towards the end of this video is very important, because we've seen what the judiciary is doing lately. There are cases that, possibly the PDP was supposed to win in court, but they will tell them that it is a pre-election matter. So they don't even have any chance. And then when they go to another state, if it is almost the same, scenario that played out, they want to tell you that it is no longer a pre-election issue, especially if it's going to favor the APC. So the judiciary is just dancing to the tune of the APC. No, there's no other way that we want to explain it. They are just being partisan, and that is what we've seen lately. So guys, what I'm just trying to say is that the government, they don't have any plan for Nigeria. They don't have any plan for the people. They don't have any plan for the country. And we've seen it played out since they took over power. We've not seen anything. There is nothing, no one thing. In case you know any, you can drop it at the comment section. You just tell us what you think that this government has done for Nigerians that we should be applauding by now. The Naira is sliding every day. Look at our roads. This is the road that Buhari was boasting that he will be remembered for infrastructure, that they've done a lot. Go and see the roads in Nigeria. The current minister for works, he was saying that Nigeria is even is owing, considering the state of our roads. These are where they told us that the money they borrowed were channeled to. Don't forget that we had enough Abacha loot that were returned to Nigeria during the time of Buhari. Where are the money? Nigerians, I don't know if you understand what is really happening in this country. All the Abacha loot, how many times did we get Abacha loot being returned during the time of Buhari? Just this government that left office. Where are all the money that we got? We had people's houses that were, seized, and they were sold like Desiani and the rest of them. So many people, there was a time they said they had a whistleblower policy. They recovered this amount, they recovered that amount. Where did they channel that money? And we still had to see us to go on strike on several notes. Nigerian students were meant to stay home because ASU was not, giving what they were demanding for. How much is ASU even asking for? Go and check how much the president has allocated for his wife's, fleet of cars, how much they'll be using for that of the executive and all that, how much, all the expenses. Go and check it. Then you check how much ASU is asking. That makes Nigerians or Nigerian students to stay home. Just go and calculate it. Then you will see the selfishness of our leaders. You know that they are not just, people-centric. It does not concern them how Nigerians are living. And ASU has renewed call, for them to pay them the salary that they are owing them. That period of the strike, they weren't paid because Buhari's government say no work, no pay. So they insisted they were not going to pay them. And you can imagine some of these professors and some of the lecturers, go and see how they live. Some of them live from hand to mouth. It's not as if they have that much money, but because they went on strike to make a demand, they weren't paid. And when they asked, they said they were not going to pay them. So till today, they've not received those salaries, within those period that they had, that we had ASO strike. And they've renewed that call, asking this president to see if he was asking him to pay them the money. Who knows? Now that we don't even have money, they said they met a bankrupt Nigeria. How are they going to be addressing this issue? And instead of them to pay close attention to this, they are busy using our money to travel and going to places, sponsoring people who are not supposed to be in that climate summit. They all went there, at the expense of the taxpayers, people who are paying these taxes. So we have an issue here, Nigerians. We have people who do not care about you and I. They are just there, for their own selfish interests. When you look at the person of the president, Tinubu, who, while he was the governor of Lagos State, he had this monopoly, influence in the state. Even after when he left office, he's like he owns Lagos. Everybody comes to bow to him. Everybody accounts to him. If you don't do your account well, they sack you, like we saw it during the time of Amode. So he had this strong influence there in Lagos. So you can imagine how much of that will be playing out currently in the country now that he is the president. So everybody must come worship him. And if you don't dance to his tune, he has a way, somebody was telling me that this person, he does not forgive people. You better don't step on his toes. Once he takes on you that he's going to deal on you, there is nothing that changes his mind. And we saw that played out during the time of Amode. Because tell me what Amode did. We could not even find anything why they wanted him out. And they took that decision. They worked and worked until they got him out. He couldn't complete his second term. But Amode was the man of the people. He was somebody that Nigerians wanted, especially Lagosians. They really wanted him because they felt he was really doing a good job. But because his master said, no, it's over, it's over. And there wasn't any opportunity to have even forgiven him should he have committed any offense. They didn't give him that opportunity to be forgiven. And that was how they got rid of him. And since then, Amode has not been that effective in politics. As in, they quench him, shut his mouth up until today. We don't hear about him again. So we have the wrong people. But I must tell you that the INEC chairman must be held responsible for all this. And also, the kind of judiciary we have today is also one of the issues that is giving birth to all these things. But one way or the other, they are also facing the consequences, because that is why some of these businesses are leaving Nigeria. Nigerians are also going out. We've seen hospitals, some wards in hospitals are shutting down because they lack medical personnel to tackle issues in those various sections of the world. Is affecting everybody. When you have the wrong people, when INEC does the wrong thing, as in everybody bears the consequence. So guys, let's stop at this point. Thank you so much for joining us. I just hope that a new Nigeria will be better. That's just my own prayer, that we get a Nigeria where we have people who are passionate about the people, who really want to see a good Nigeria. Look at one of the presidents, I think the president of Gambia, he said no foreign trip. He even didn't attend the climate summit. He said no foreign trip. Don't buy me new cars. I'm going to use the old ones. I watched him on a television saying, the old ones, are they not working? They said it's working. He said, why buy new ones? Let me use the old ones. He does not collect salaries. These are the things we want to see, Nigerians. We want to see this presidency. They are not, because the wife told us that they are financially buoyant enough. They are not coming to, they are not coming into this position because they want to take Nigerian people's money. But we've seen them going to renovate their houses that possibly those houses have been there for years, just coming into office without addressing any one issue that has to do with the people. You are just after your own, buying fleets of cars. And like I always call out Shetima, who was like, throwing stone at Peter Obi, because they will tell you that people who live in glass houses, they don't throw stones. You have your own deficiencies and you are like calling out another person's own. He was saying that Peter Obi, who criticized the 15 billion Wike wants to use in renovating his own residence, is suffering from a post-election trauma. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? So people should not talk. They should just use Nigerian people's money anyhow. We shouldn't air our mind. So guys, that is the Nigeria of today. That's the reality of the state of things in Nigeria. The corruption, the inefficiency of our leaders, them not even having empathy, feeling for the people. It does not concern them. Look at this Christmas now. Many families will not be able to buy a bag of rice. Some people will not be able to travel to even go and see their relatives. But this is a season that people want to, like, move around, meet with friends, relatives, families, and all that, and enjoy the season. But some people are even managing to eat just one meal per day, and they are finding it difficult. So I don't know. Let's just hope for a better tomorrow in Nigeria. And as the election draws near, I think while we are bringing some of these things for you to be determined as a Nigerian, that called future elections, you won't just sit down and say it doesn't concern me. If you say it doesn't concern me, I tell you, these people, they will know that the people now, they've surrendered, that Nigerians have surrendered. It's rather a call for you to start mobilizing, start thinking, start being creative, planning for the 2027 election and elections beyond that time. We must arise and recover this country, because politicians have taken over Nigeria, and the citizens, power belongs to us, not them. Even if there is judicial capture, there's INEC capture and all that, but power belongs to us. By the time you know it, you see that a new Nigeria will be better. So guys, I want to thank you all for being a part of this live session. And like I will say, always encourage Nigerians, please don't wait for this government. Make sure you keep yourself engaged. And like I've always told you guys, that the online space is a free space that anybody can just hop on and start, getting his or her daily bread. I encourage you, please, don't wait for this government. If you wait for this government, you will get yourself depressed. You will start, as in, you'll become sick without even knowing what you are sick of. I tell you, you become sick. We've seen many people going to jump into the lagoon because of the hard times Nigerians are going through, and we have leaders who do not care. Since after this election that we just had, do you know how many people that have like taken their own lives? Because they don't have hope. They don't even know who to beckon on. They don't know who to call on. That is the reality of Nigeria today. So I always encourage those of you who join me here, please ensure you are doing something for yourself. Look out for anything you can be doing, especially on the online space where you don't need capital. Because if you are going to start any business in Nigeria, you need to look for a shop, you need to buy goods, you need money. And with the biting situation in Nigeria today, it might be difficult for you to raise that money. So look for something that you can be doing online. Go and learn a skill. There are skills you can learn within the space of 1 week, 1 month. You have become a professional. Like I can say, go and learn. Even if it's graphic designing, go and learn it. If it's web designing, please go and learn web design. It is one of the best skills that everybody, for me, I would say people should, whether you want to be building websites or not, you should like have some idea about web design. People should go and learn these things. And you know what? People who are web designers, they make a lot of money. They make good monies on the internet. So we shouldn't just sit down and say we are waiting for this government. You've seen the way things are going. They don't care. They don't care. Go and see the celebration of Akpabio. He called people. I know people must have spent a lot transporting themselves to that occasion. He brought in, his fellow senators and all that. They came there, and you'll be wondering, is it the Nigeria they say people are suffering from hunger? You will not see any smell of hunger, because it is the big people who are there. But the ordinary citizens are suffering. They've increased school fees across Nigeria, as in so many high institutions, they have their school fees increased currently. I don't know about secondary schools. And then we've seen companies leaving, meaning that many people are going to be losing their jobs. Assuming you have somebody who lost his job and then he has 3 children in the in university, now school fees have been increased. Tell me why that person will not start suffering from depression or even have high blood pressure and all that because of worry. Where is he going to get all this money? So I really want to encourage Nigerians, please, let's get our hands working. Learn anything you can learn. If you can buy a course, if you can buy, like I told you guys, you can watch videos. Sometimes these videos don't have enough information to like take you from beginning to end. That's why I encourage people to buy books. Buy books. Some of these books, you can go to Amazon, you can listen to audio books. You may not really want to sit down to be reading. And why audio books are so amazing is you can be driving and be listening to them. You can be working out, you are in the gym, you are working out, you are listening to audio books. They get you motivated, they inspire you. You listen to people that will tell you that where you are still in your comfort zone. You have to move out, and you see yourself taking some drastic steps. We are about entering a new year. I think it's really a time for you to like take some strong resolutions that you don't want to look back, you don't want to follow from there. So take some strong decisions this new year and start doing something. Don't wait until the 1st of January. That resolution, you can take it this night to start doing something. I encourage you people, even if it's just a YouTube video, you can start creating. The space is free and it's for everyone. All you just need is that little patience, because it's not as if when you start it today, YouTube will start giving you money today. No, but you have to have that patience. You can learn anything, any skill. You can learn to sell. Some people are selling affiliate marketing stuff, selling other people's products and all that, and they make commissions. There are a lot, my people, there are a lot. But if we just keep waiting for this government, then it will not really help us. That is why so many Nigerians are taking to all this Yahoo thing. You can imagine those who are doing this going to learn forex trading or learn how to trade crypto. They will be making genuine money that nobody will be able to harass them. I mean it. Those of them who are doing all this internet stuff, let them sit down and learn some other things that has to equally do with all this online trading. They will be living big and fine. And the EFCC will not come after them. Neither would, even if somebody comes after them, you can prove your source of income. So we shouldn't be the lazy people like Buhari said. I know Nigerians are not lazy. They call us lazy, and the EFCC chairman has come out to say 70% of Nigerians are criminals. So we don't really want to see that, appearing to be the fact. So that's why we must ensure that we just keep working. And like I share with you guys I showed you a video last time of, let me say, young Nigerian who was also telling his story. He attended this SM Fest. I know you must have seen Peter Obi speaking there. That occasion was about last week or last 2 weeks. They had it in Owerri, and a guy was there speaking. I didn't even know about that fest, but I came across that video on the social media, on YouTube. So when I watched it, I was so moved listening to a young guy who said he knew he didn't want to be employed, as in he didn't want somebody to employ him. He wanted to start doing something on his own, but he didn't know how. He didn't know how, he didn't have a direction until he stumbled across a book. Reading that book alone transformed his life, just like gave him a direction. And that is how he now started, like, he went online and started learning things. Today, he teaches in the business school we have in Lagos. Today, this is somebody who didn't have a direction, but the kind of, the kind of steps he has taken since he came across that book. Personally, I was touched listening to his story. And like I told you guys, I've gone to Amazon, I got the book, and I've always added it to my description. You can go there, check out the book if it's something you feel you want to listen to, and you can check out the YouTube channel. It's called SM Fest. You see his name, John Obidi. So you can just listen to his story and see if it's something that will inspire you, and see if you can still read the book he read. Possibly you might get motivated, going through that route. And like I've said, some of these books you can just listen via audio book, which will make it to be very simple and even more interesting. For those of us who do not really enjoy reading, audiobook is another easy way for you to get enough information contained in any book. So I'll add the link in the description later, which you can check out should you be interested in reading. There are also many other books. You can go to YouTube and also type business books, or revenue generating books, best books in 2023, 2024, for new or fresh entrepreneurs, something like that. You can just type in those things and get some inspiration. And I urge you guys to read. Please just read. You see that personally, I'm not even the reading type, but somebody just like introduced this reading habit to me. And when I went through some books. I had to start listening to audiobooks, and I tell you, it has so much helped me, so much helped me. Some of the things I'm doing today, they are as a result of some of the books I went through, as in the motivation, the inspiration, the knowledge I gained, and I try to implement them. Being a mom, it's not even easy for me to be on YouTube, being a mom, but I just have to keep doing it. So I really want to encourage you guys, please don't wait for this government, because they don't have plans for the people. They are just there. We suffer to elect them. For those that are genuinely elected, or not the ones that INEC selected, those that are genuinely elected. You see people losing their lives during elections, though some of them want to snatch boxes, but at the end of the day, these people will be the ones enjoying and living fat, while the people will be groaning. So I think it's time for us to do the right thing, so that we don't get caught up with the mess that this government and the politicians in Nigeria have brought upon Nigerians. So, guys, let's end it at this point. I want to appreciate you all for joining me. Please do well to like this video and support this channel by subscribing and turning on the bell icon. There's always a bell close to the subscribe button. When you click it, it gives you options. You can choose the all, meaning you are going to be getting all our updates. And in case, if you want, you can also buy us a cup of coffee by clicking on the super chat or the super sticker. You find it beneath the comment section. So, and with this, let's call it a day, and let's meet again tomorrow. Thank you all for your time. God bless you and good night.